The United Nations estimates that drought brought on by the effects of climate change could displace as many as 700 million people by the end of this decade.
If we continue on our current path, we will face the collapse of everything that gives us our security.
This is a message from the government. Coronavirus is a national emergency, life-threatening for people of all ages,
coronavirus vaccinations from one of their own doctors. At 94 and 99 years of age, they are both in a high-priority group and join the 1.5 million people who so far have first vaccination.
You lot are killing people! You lot are killing people!
Is it working now? Okay. My name is Zygmunt Wysocki and I'm one of the founding members of Coffee Cranks Cooperative here in Manchester. We started in 2012 by building a cargo tricycle and then fundraising to equip it with an espresso coffee machine. So we basically started as a mobile coffee business. We would take our coffee trike to various events, particularly markets, Levenshulme Market, Chorlton Market. We also got involved in lots of cycling related activities like the Manchester Festival. A cooperative is a unique business model that was established in 1800s in the northwest of England as a response to mass unemployment and in sort of industrial communities. So there was no state provision for people who were poor or destitute or ill. And if people couldn't find jobs, that meant that they would go hungry. The first co-op was established in Rochdale in 1844 and it was a shop which would provide its members which were at the time customers, with good quality produce at accessible prices. And it's based on principles that promote self-reliance, community-mindedness, and equality. So co-ops, unlike other businesses where you have shareholders and owners and investors, cooperatives value and operate on the basis of the members having a say in how the co-op is run. So worker cooperatives like ours is instead of the person who invested most money in the business having the majority say in deciding where the company goes and where the profits go from the economic activity that the co-op is involved in. Conversely, the cooperatives are deciding on those things, based on what the members have to say. So with Coffee Cranks, the members are the workers. So if we make a profit, we are basically deciding on what to do with that money, whether we invest it back into the business, whether we give ourselves a raise, or whether we put the money towards some community projects. That's all up to us. We don't have a boss to respond to. We have a meeting every week, and that meeting is basically where we decide on the most important matters relating to how the companies run and what happens to the money. So everyone's involved. Everyone gets to have a say. Our supply chain is mostly other cooperatives, so we try to source our produce from local cooperatives, which we believe is supporting the alternative economy and independent sort of other community-minded businesses is an important part of sustainability. We also don't serve meat in our cafe, so in that way we We think that we are helping to reduce the carbon footprint. Our coffee comes from as well cooperative growers that employ organic practices and farming methods in how they produce the coffee beans.
So we must also address the food system that has been forged on the griddles of fast food companies through a dual-pronged structural approach. We need to be supplying people with healthy, delicious, ethical, and sustainable food options by supporting smaller farmers and ethical food operations, something that McDonald's just isn't doing.
We are collaborating and working with other co-ops in the area. We are also working on a project that is meant to deliver these cargo passenger tricycles to take elderly residents of our community on rides in and around the park. I think there's been lots of because of the restrictions. We weren't able to attract as many customers as we previously did, and it caused a stress on our company to keep everyone in employment. Local businesses particularly, they don't have the resources of big corporations and multinational firms, and local businesses tend to maybe struggle a little bit more at times when they either can't open or their services are scaled back because they're not allowed to basically operate like they used to.
Good evening. The Chancellor has announced a multi-billion-pound support package to help businesses through the coronavirus crisis. Rishi Sunak said the country is in an economic emergency and now is the time to be bold.
So we've had our first fine of £1,000. We're one of 5 gyms to receive that so far. There is almost 70% of Merseyside's gyms standing open as we speak right now.
Okay, so the fines are rolling in, and people will ask immediately. They'll say, "Do you risk losing more in fines than you would in lost business?"
Well, we've collectively, us gyms across Merseyside, we've run the math, we've seen the financial package, and we know that we will go out of business. The package that's on the table, as said by our own mayor, Jo Anderson, it's inadequate. The same package has been offered to Manchester, and their mayor has said it. They're being treated like second-class citizens. We simply wouldn't survive this if we had to close our doors. And not just that, the evidence doesn't support the decision that's been made.
Businesses. Now, when it comes to Brexit, one of the big things, of course, everyone's been talking about is what is the economic impact going to be? Well, no one really knows for sure.
This is normal people just saying what we're doing now is not right, and we need to go back to the people and do it again.
PPE to the people who need